Welcome to Studio D on the campus of the University of Oklahoma. This is Sooner Sports Pad. And now, here's your host, Madeline Roberts.
Hello and welcome to Sooner Sports Pad. I'm your host, Madeline Roberts, alongside my co-analysts, Reagan Ledbetter and Kenneth Adair. And as you can tell, we have a very loud live studio audience with us this evening. Guys, who do we have in there?
We've got a bunch of members from OU Spirit as well as a bunch of rowdy OU students, clearly.
That's right. We also have two very special guests. That is Baker Mayfield and Jackson Yules here with us tonight.
Yes, we do. Now, down in Waco, OU, the football team got off to a rough time, but they were able to prevail over the obstacles and leave Waco, Baylor country, victorious.
And if you ever wonder what 5 college students taking a 26-hour round trip to Columbus looks like, well, you are about to find out later in the show.
That's right, guys. The Sooners football team began Big 12 play on Saturday, and while the Sooners did come out with the win, it didn't go as many fans were anticipating. OU went up 14 points and led 28-10 early in the second quarter, but the winless Baylor Bears fought back, scoring 21 straight points and taking a 31-28 lead on a field goal with 2:45 left in the third quarter. OU scored at the end of the third on a 48-yard touchdown pass from Baker Mayfield to Jeff Badette, and then in the fourth quarter, Trey Sermon happened. The true freshman ran for 148 yards and 2 touchdowns, resurrecting OU's offense. Baylor didn't back down, but thanks to the Sooners' defense, including a huge strip from Obo Okoronkwo, the Sooners hung on for the 49-41 win. Guys, players on both sides of the ball really stepped up in this game. Reagan, what did you think of OU's offense?
It was a hot start for the Sooners on offense. They came out guns blazing with 21 points in 7 plays to get things started. Baker was firing on all cylinders early on with a quick strike to Mark Andrews here as you see it right now. And then he finds do-it-all to Flowers over the field for a quick score, put the Sooners up 14-0. There was a little bit of struggle later on through the air, but the run game completely took control of the football game. Abdul Adams silenced that Baylor crowd with a 99-yard touchdown run to the house. Part of his 164-yard campaign. Big man Trey Sermon did his business in the fourth and added another 148-yard game. Look at Baker, 342 yards, rushing 23 yards for Baker, a 14-game streak of more than 30 points, and a 6-game streak with no interception. Still, no interceptions for Baker Mayfield.
Big game offensively. Now, defensive side, like we talked about after the game, it was a wake-up call for the defense and a big one. Baylor came into the game with a great game plan. They just, especially for the secondary, they came quick pass, and then once the secondary stepped up, they went deep to guys like Denzel Mims, like you see there, who had a tremendous game. But in the second half, in the fourth quarter, when it mattered most, this defense stepped up big. When they had to put their money where their mouth was, they did just that. After OU gave up an onside kick to Baylor in the final minutes of the fourth quarter, Obo had to make a play. He had to make something happen, and he did that. We saw it. Strip sack fumble, that solidified the win, showed that this is actually a good defense from the Sooners. They only allowed 1.7 yards per rush, 2 forced fumbles, 4 sacks and 8 tackles for loss. One of those sacks was Obo, which won the game for the Sooners. I think it's still the biggest play. And although it wasn't a great defensive game for the Sooners, nonetheless, it was a win, and that's all that matters.
It happens. It's conference play. What can you expect?
Well, guys, we all know that football happened this weekend, but what other OU sports were in action also?
Well, the men's tennis team also had a big weekend as it swept the Alabama 4 in the fall tournament in Tuscaloosa this weekend with singles wins in both brackets. Freshman Jake Van Emberg took the Houndstooth draw title, and Farron Calvo was the Crimson Flight champion. This is the second straight fall singles title for Calvo, improving his record here at OU to 10-0.
Now, unlike tennis and unlike OU football, the OU volleyball team hasn't gotten off to an ideal start that they would have hoped. They just haven't really been able to find the keys to success, which is very sad for this team. They faced OU's next football opponent in Iowa State and lost 3-1, making it a 6-game losing streak. But they will be back in action fairly soon on Wednesday, where they will have a chance to redeem themselves down in Denton while they face North Texas and hopefully turn that losing streak into a winning streak for the Sooners.
We are going to take a break, but when we come back, we'll be playing face-off. Stay with us.
MVP is easy, and that is preach. Trey Sermon, you are my MVP. The guy was lights out in the fourth quarter Saturday night. Baker said a few weeks ago that he's kind of a quiet guy off the field. When the lights are on, he truly shines, and that is what he did again on Saturday night in Waco. Turns out, all right, Sermon took control of the game in the fourth with 2 big touchdowns to extend the Sooners' lead, and Baylor could not have an answer for him. A big 148-yard night, 2 big scores. They could just not stop him.
Had no answer for him.
Solid game plan.
Now, you kept the trend of talking about offense, and I'm going to keep the trend on defense. I mentioned this guy, and I'm just going to keep praising him until someone tells me to stop.
Friends.
Yes, well, that's kind of the thing. Now, this guy, Obo, or like he likes to be referred to, OBZ, had a tremendous game once again. 6 tackles, one of those being a sack, and that was the biggest play of the game, and I'm still going to keep to that statement. When Baylor had all the momentum, he took it away from him late in the fourth quarter, and that was the biggest thing that I saw from the game. Now, I'm gonna go out on a limb here, but if this guy continues to play like this, continues to get pressure on the quarterback, continues to hit him, continues to get to the running backs, get through the offensive lines, keeps running side to side, getting those wide receivers, I'm taking this. I mean this. I guarantee it. You listen, Madeline, you listen, everybody here listen. Obo is going to be an All-American once this season is over if he continues this play. Guarantee it.
I've been saying it all year.
I'm just saying
it all year. He is a premier pass rusher.
And take that statement to the bank and cash it now, because that's exactly what's happening. Yes.
I am loving
Wow, that was deep.
I got to go deep.
Well, I am here with Riley, and she is on the Palm squad. Riley, what has Palm been up to this season?
Gosh, we are just doing so much. Our fall semester is crazy, and we have workouts, and we work on our nationals dance that we compete with in January in Orlando, and then we're also working on our minis that we do for the third quarter each week.
All right, well, good luck this season.
Thank you so much.
Riley also has an audience question for you guys.
Who do you guys think will have a better rookie season in the NFL? Samaje Perine or Joe Mixon?
All right.
What is it?
I'm going to go with the all-time leading rusher in OU history, Mr. Samaje Perine. And here's why. The guy has really no competition in Washington. He has Rob as the first stringer, Chris Thompson as second stringer, a guy who had a good game last night. But we have all seen the work ethic and athletic ability of Samaje Perine. And when he gets his chance, he will turn some heads and be a force to be reckoned with for Washington, I promise you.
Well, now, the guy I'm going to go with obviously is on the other side. I've been mesmerized with him ever since I saw him step on an OU field, and it will continue to happen in the NFL. Joe Mixon. I think he's one of the best athletes to ever come through this program, and that is the truth. Now, the Bengals are struggling a lot, and they need somebody, especially a young guy, to step up, and Joe Mixon will be that guy. You saw yesterday he had 19 carries for 62 yards. They're starting to believe in this young guy, and he's going to make some big plays. Samaje got his carries as well, but didn't really have a big game, and that's where I think the difference is. Joe can do whatever he wants. He's so athletic. He can hit the holes, hit the outside, make you miss any type of way, whether it's go around you, or go through you. That's all I'm saying, and Baker knows how good he is in the pass game, especially after Texas Tech. He had a huge game. Just saying.
He does.
Good points all around, guys. Well, it is now time for viral videos. Impress me.
All right, well, most of us were tuned into the Baylor game the other night in Waco. Well, something pretty special happened up north in Iowa at the Iowa-Penn State game. A new tradition, the University of Iowa's Children's Hospital has a 12th floor press box where they look down into the stadium and get to be able to watch the games. Well, the tradition is the fans look up and wave in the first quarter to the kids and their families, and they get to wave back down. Pretty special, something pretty cool. I have chills just watching this again. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's a
That's cool stuff
spectacular
right
moment.
there.
Now, you talked about a new tradition and something that's sentimental. I'm going to talk about an old tradition and something that's pretty cute.
Oh,
now,
don't say cute
Boise
again.
State started this tradition in the mid-'90s, but it doesn't have to deal with a player per se. More so, it has to deal with a puppy. Cowboy Cole, who
You
they
sold
have.
them all.
I'm sorry. They have trained this pup to go outside, go after the tee. Look at that form. It's so pretty, so fast. Swirl around, bring it back to me. Come on, keep coming. It's so spectacular to watch. He gets back to the sideline, and look, he has a new chew toy. Now, this is absolutely amazing to watch. Okay, he gets it. But now the only problem I have with this is this dog can go and get a tee when on signal. I can't even get my dog to go correctly outside. So that's kind of a problem.
Fun story. Last week we were at our apartment and his dog actually was locked in the room because
locked
it
herself.
jumped up and hit its nose on the lock. We had to go out to the outside,
a big
break
dog.
out the window and crawl through to unlock the dog.
She's 70 pounds at 7 months. Big dog. very
Roommate
smart for
goals.
dogs. Yes.
Roommate goals.
Smart dog. She locked my mom out the house as well, so
All right,
she's
well,
got an
it
act
is
for
now
it.
time to vote for the winner of Face Off. Cheer the loudest for who you think won. Who thinks it was Reagan?
Yes! There we go! There we go!
Not bad, not bad. How about Ken?
Yeah. Yeah. Come on. There you go, David. There you go. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Sorry, Reagan. Congratulations, Ken. You just won your
Yeah,
first
we
face
Baker
off.
cheered for me. I'm cool with that.
Rookie one.
All right, well, we're going to go to another break, but stick around. When we come back, you'll find out what happens when 5 guys make the trip to Columbus, Ohio.
You're too competitive.
Special thanks to our Cornerstone Television partners, Chesapeake Energy, Riverwind Resort, Anheuser-Busch, OU Outreach, and OU Medicine.
And now the moment you've all been waiting for. Let's hear from Baker Mayfield and Jackson Ewells.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Glad to have y'all here.
Hey, look at this. All right, look at that.
Yeah, they are crazy.
All right, all right. Well, no one ever wants to be close to losing a football game, but does a game like that on Saturday benefit you guys in the long run?
I think it does. I think it was kind of a reality check for us. We had started off great in the season, but, you know, you can't take anybody lightly.
I think what he said, it's going to help us in the long run. Opens our eyes a little bit, make us practice a little harder this week.
Now, when Baylor took the lead in the third quarter, what was going through your minds? What did you feel like you had to do next?
Offensively, we didn't hesitate. I think we've been in certain situations before where we're used to adversity and, you know, having to come back. But it's not about what the score is. We got to go out and do our job. So we just said exactly that.
I was just wanting Baker to throw some more touchdowns.
That would have been nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's always nice.
Get all the fans a scare.
Yeah,
Jeez. Come on, Bake.
So
that's always good.
All right, well, who's the bigger risk taker, you or Lincoln? Ooh. Hit him with the hard questions.
It actually might be him. I'd give it to him for some of his play calls. Just for example, he called the first play of the game against Iowa State in 2015 a reverse pass. So I told him that he wouldn't do it, and he called my bluff and did it.
Not too shabby.
Thank you, David. Thank you.
Y'all had a lot of spectacular games in your careers. What's probably the biggest one for y'all?
For me, it's probably Tennessee a couple years back. That was my first game to play in. We won in double overtime. It was just a great atmosphere, really fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, but the first win in the Cotton Bowl. Oh, yeah, there we go. For me, I think it'd be last year playing Texas. So first victory in the Cotton Bowl. Felt pretty good.
All right, well, you guys are both walk-ons at one point. You are no longer a walk-on. How special was that moment when Lincoln gave you a scholarship?
It was awesome. You know, being there with all the guys, showing their support means a lot. It was a very cool moment.
How special was it to watch him get you a scholarship?
It was awesome. To see how much he works, and he just deserves it. So it was good to see the team support and how excited they were, because he really does deserve it, and he puts in the work. And I know how hard it is, so he deserves it.
There you go. That's so sweet.
Adorable.
Now, it's time to get a little competition. Both of y'all are roommates. Coincidentally, so are we. We've been since sophomore year as well.
I guarantee you we're better roommates.
Are you sure? Well, okay, we weren't going to start there. Which one's the better roommate out of y'all two, though?
Who invited these guys on?
Yeah, I know. Why are y'all?
You guys did.
Which one's the better roommate?
I clean the dishes.
I build all the furniture.
I'm so domestic, too.
What does that mean?
I cook.
Yeah, you cook ramen.
And it's good, too.
Wait, is that y'all's diet?
Ramen? Donut King?
Strictly vegetables. And
Fair enough. All right, I think Madeline has an audience question for you
That's
guys.
right. Riley has a question for you guys.
What upcoming game the rest of the season are you guys looking forward to the most?
I think I know his answer to this one.
Bedlam.
For me, it's probably Texas. It's always fun playing in the Cotton Bowl.
All right, well, it is time for another break, but when we come back, we'll be playing dynamic duos. Stay with us. Welcome back to Center Sports Bet. It is now time to play dynamic duos. Prior to the show, I asked Baker a series of questions, and now Jackson will attempt to answer them correctly. You feel ready?
I feel dangerous.
Dangerous. All right. Question number 1. Which NFL quarterback does Baker look up to the most? Is it A, Aaron Rodgers, B,
A.
Drew Brees, C, Cam Newton, or D, Russell Wilson?
A.
A? Let's see. Oh! It's okay, it's okay. We'll come back to question number 2. What is Baker's favorite?
What's your rival high school?
You ready for question 2?
I don't know.
What is Baker's favorite Taylor Swift song? Is it A, Look What You Made Me Do, B, Shake It Off, C, 22, or D, Blank Space?
What was? Can you repeat those?
A, Look What You Made Me Do, B, Shake It Off,
It's B.
B? All right, let's see. Oh, yeah! You got it right. You know pretty well. Question number 3. What is Baker's ideal first date? A, Tarahimaras, B, Scary Movie, C, Amusement Park, or D, Mini Golf?
A. Charlie Mars. Final answer.
Final answer.
Smart.
Okay, 2 out of 3. Pretty good, pretty good. All right, question number 4. Who is Baker's current favorite NBA player? Is it A, LeBron James, B, James Harden, C, Paul George, or D, Russell Westbrook?
It's D. Russell Westbrook.
D, Russell Westbrook. Let's see.
Oh!
One last question. One last question. What does Baker think is the toughest place to play on the road? A, Columbus, B, Knoxville, C, Stillwater, or D, Morgantown?
D. Morgantown.
Morgantown, let's see.
Oh!
Darn, you got 3 out of 5. How do you think that was?
I think he's lying
You think he's lying?
on some of
We're
them.
better roommates.
Yeah, I think we are. I think if we switch, we would know. We should do the game next.
All right, thanks for watching Sooner Sports Pad. Be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and join us next week right here, same time, same place. Have a good night.
Hi, I'm Zach Sapanik. I traveled thousands of miles